Hey yo, it's your boy Codehova from Fly Combinator. We're pimping Swift, and we're going to be talking about class inheritance. And just to let you know, we're going to start getting into the concepts of OOP, which is also known as object-oriented programming. All right. So here we're going to have a blank screen because we're going to be starting off with we're going to dig in deep. So we're going to start from brand new code. And you might want to make your screen quality on YouTube to like 1080p or even higher, because I made the font a little smaller so we could really get some code all into the screen. All right, so let's just start off by creating a class called a person. All right, and a person is gonna have a full name. All right, let's just go with government. All right, because what's wrong with government, right? Everyone has a government, unless you're like Mowgli in the Jungle Book, right? But what are we missing? Of course, we're missing the initializers. Classes have initializers. Structs do not. They come for free. All right, so we have a government name, which is a string parameter, and we're going to give it to put it into this parameter into the stored property. All right, so let's just say Joe Blow. All right, Joe Blow is a person, and come on, son. Damn it. And we're gonna give him the name Joe Blow. Let's run this. All right, we got Joe Blow. And we could print out his government name. And as you see, we have Joe Blow. Actually, because this person is like so vanilla, let's just stick with John Doe. Okay. So John Doe's government name is John Doe. So let's talk about inheritance. So we're going to create a new class. And that new class is going to be, let's just say Hustler. All right. And the Hustler also has a government name of type string, but he also has all right, let me just create the initializer. Init government name. It's going to be of a type string. Self.government name equals government name. All right. So not only does he have the same qualities, the property and the initializer, as the person class, but we're also going to give him a function. And his function, what do hustlers do? They hustle. All right. So that's the thing. So he also has a func. But let me give him the other properties that a hustler will also have. A hustler is hustling for what? For bank, son. So we're going to give him a bank, and it's going to be of a type int. All right. And what we're going to do is, let's just keep it simple by moving that so that it's going to look almost identical to the person class. But self.bank equals bank. Okay? But the hustler, he has a function that says, I'm a hustler. And my bank right now is string interpolation. On my person. All right. So we have this class, and let's create a hustler. Right? So because we're dealing with the hustler, we're going to call it Cassidy. All right. Hustler, open. I don't know why my shit ain't auto suggesting, but let's just say his name is Cassidy, and the bank is 0. All right. So if we call Cassidy dot government name and Cassidy dot bank, let's run this. So we do have a hustler. Government name is Cassidy, and the bank is 0. Another thing that Cassidy has is the hustle function. Okay. Boom. So when Cassidy, the hustler, runs the hustle function, it's going to do a print statement. I'm a hustler and my bank right now is $0 on my person. Cool. But what is inheritance? Let's go there. Like, let's look at the dictionary of what inheritance is. So inheritance is a thing that is inherited. All right, that's pretty unhelpful. The action of inheriting. All right, so let's inherit. It's to derive. That's what we're looking for. Derive a quality, characteristic, or predisposition genetically from one's parents or ancestors. Cool. That's what we're looking for. So how can you see this person class has the government name and this initializer. So this hustler class, it has the same government name and the initializer with the government name also. The only difference is that this hustler has a bank, all right, and a function. So how can we inherit the person? How can the hustler inherit from the person? Let me show you how to do it. So what you do is you do a semicolon and then you type in person. All right, let's run this. Boom. It's saying that cannot override a stored property of government name. Good. That's what we're looking for, man. So if we're going to create the subclass of hustler, inheriting from person, we don't need government name no more. And let's try to run it. Now this let. So what we're doing right here is this initializer, it needs to happen on the person. So what we're going to do is call super.init, and the super is calling the parent, which is person. So we need to call this initializer. So government name equals government name. And if we run this, my bad. And then before we do that, we need to make sure that the bank is initialized first before calling the parent. Good. There we go. So what we did was we were able to remove the government name. I should have commented it out. So we had this. All right. So we were able to get rid of that. And we still have the government name in the initializer because it needs to be passed into the super call, right? So this super is calling this initializer because this is the parent. And since we're subclassing, we're inheriting the person into hustler. So after we first initialize this stored property of bank and whatever other stored property there may be, then we do the super call to then fill out this portion. And as you see here, we are able to call government name just like as if it was a person, because a hustler at the end of the day is a person also. So hustler inherits the properties and the functions of the person. So let's give it a function called introduce self. All right. So this print is going to print, hi, my name is government name. All right. So this hustler is going to inherit this function. So right here, before we hustle, Cassidy can introduce self. And if we run that, it's going to say, hi, my name is Cassidy. And that's because a hustler is a person and a person has this function. Okay? And let me just look at my notes real quick. If we... all right. So there we go. We have a hustler object and we have a person. But if we try to say John Doe, let's move this down because you might think, oh, I could run this code Never mind. So we have a person here now. And a person does not have a bank. But let's try to call bank on it. The type of person has no member bank. And so that's the thing. When you do a subclass, the hustler has all the stored properties and functions, the methods, that the superclass has. So a hustler has all this shit in it. It's given to it. It's inherited. But this person class has nothing to do with this hustler. The person does not know about the hustler, but the hustler knows everything about the person. So this is the subclass. Hustler is a subclass of person. Hustler is a child class of person. Now, person is the superclass of a hustler. And a person is the parent class of a hustler. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is what we call inheritance. And that is inheritance with Swift. All right, let's keep on pimping. It's your boy Codehova, Fly Combinator. Let's get that bag, yo.